So after we're done from setting up the builder, now let's start building the website. To start, we need to go to /admin. And then you log in with your dashboard account. And now after you logged in, you will be able to access the builder. From here, you add new pages, you switch to the mobile builder, you show and hide components, and you switch language. First, let's go to add new page. From here, you choose the name and the type. You can always click on the question mark icon to have more information. So, probably when you're gonna build any website, you'll start by adding a layout. For the name, I'm gonna name it main layout. I choose this name so you know that you can have multiple layouts. And then click add. So let's take a look for the layout. From here, you can view the website. It's still empty. And you can publish your last updates. And you can toggle to mobile view so you can handle responsive design. And of course, you can choose any size that you want. So now we can start by drag a container to this space. Or you can click on the plus icon. So you have to know that your first level always have to be a container. And that to help you organizing your style and your sections. And of course, you can keep adding as much as you need. And you might already notice that you can just click on the delete icon to delete this container. So we will start by building the header, which is the website navbar. So we will start by adding an image for the logo. And then I'm gonna add a box for the links. And one more box for the language and login section. Inside the link section, let's add multiple links. And let's add a button for the login and drop down for the language. And these are all the elements that we're gonna need to build the navbar. Now let's work on the style. Make sure that you are selecting the container and then go to properties. Here, when you can edit the style, let's start with display. Remember, you can always click on the question mark icon to read more about the options. Now let's add the image. You click on the image and then settings. From here, you can set the URL or you can choose one of your assets. You can manage your assets inside your dashboard from the app builder and then assets. Now let's edit the links. Let's make sure that it's aligned to center. And change the font size. And the button. and the drop down, let's go to options and then add en, and then AR, and then from functionality you choose the action to be change language, and from display choose the display type to be button and the icon to be global. Let's also change the background color and the font color. And of course, when we added in the functionality the change language action, now if you clicked on AR, and one last thing, in the container, make sure that align items on the center. So, as you saw, when we tried to change the background color, we saw these options. These are your theme colors, and you can change them from the site settings. So we still cannot publish this because that's just a layout, it's not a real page. So before we add our first page, let's make sure that from the components we add the page body element. This element will show if you are only building a layout, and he is a reference for where the page will be rendering. Now let's add our first page. The path is going to be slash for the home page. The page layout is main layout and is home page, and then click add. As you can see, the layout is already exist and you can start add your page content. Be aware that if you try to select any of the layout elements, you will not be able to. If you want to change anything inside the layout, you have to go to the main layout. And by default, this container will be exist when you add a new page. Let's just add a button and then publish. Click on view site. So the first thing that you're gonna know, there are no padding at all. And the reason is actually the padding that you see here is just for the builder. When you publish your website, this padding will not be exist. Simply, you just go to properties and then padding and then add a padding and then publish. So with this, you can play around the style and create any design that you like.